I said, cut!
Hey, it's Colonel Cash. You're about to see Module 1, which is on budgeting, household budgets. So let's jump right into it. When it comes to monthly budget, you have to decide where your money goes, or you can set it free like a toddler on a target. It's going to take off somewhere. It'll find somewhere to go. It'll probably do something you don't want it to do. And then you got some repair or damage at the end. Come back saying, where the hell did my kid go? So what this is all about, and the whole theme here is taking command of your money, deciding where it goes, so it's doing what you want it to do, so it doesn't just disappear and break stuff, okay? So you've got a budget. There's two sides to a budget, the money coming in and the money going out. And we'll cover the hard one first real quickly. The money coming in, your income, right, from your work. You have maybe this much flexibility in how much money's coming in. You can work an extra shift. You can get a second job. You can apply for a new job that maybe pays more, but that takes time to do. That takes more time for you, and working extra is just wearing you out. So that's not the easy lever. That's a harder long-term lever. You know, go back to school and eventually get a better job. That's great, but you can't do that in a week or a month or 3 months. So we're going to talk about the lever that's easier to control, the one that you actually have your hands on the knob, and that's your expenses and the money going out. First, what I invite you to do is let's figure out, write down your monthly expenses. Take a sheet of paper, write down everything you spend each month that you think you spend, and no looking online, no checking your bank account. Write down your expenses. And especially if you have a partner or spouse or somebody that you domesticate with that's helping to pay the bills, have them do it too, and separately. Okay, just like 6th grade, keep your eye on your own work. Don't share with your neighbors. So let them write it down. And you're going to find this will be shocking to you. When you get your list together and you're both done, you compare. You forgot stuff. They forgot stuff. You had the wrong amount. You think this is $50 a month. No, it's actually $110 a month. And you guys are going to have to reconcile that. You reconcile your list. Now you've got everything together that you both agree on, and take that list and say, now we know what our expenses are. And you have that, you know what your income is. You're going to think you still have extra money at the end of the month because on paper it looks like it. Now you get the big step. This is the fun part, what I enjoy. Go take last month's bank statement, print it out or download the PDF, whatever, and go look line by line and look at every single dollar that came out of your account. Compare it to your list. This wasn't on your list. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, Starbucks wasn't on there. I forgot this. DoorDash wasn't on there. We didn't budget for that. Snacks at the gas station or cigarettes or whatever. There's always stuff, these little things. Well, it's only $12. It's only $19. That was only $23. But guess what? You add those up, and this is what will drive you nuts. It's funny, or fun, for me at least, to see the experience expression. You'll say, what the hell? I spent $700 on these things in a month. I did not know that. There was no budget in there for $700 of snacks, convenience store, DoorDash. You've got to ordering stuff online, Amazon things. So you just look that up, and that's your reality. And say, wow, these are the gaps I had. This is what cost me so much more. No wonder there's no money left. Then you're surprised, you get a little frustrated, might get mad at yourself. So we're going to do this again. Go back one more month and look at those bank statements and say, what did I spend this month? And compare that to that nice handy budget that you two reconciled and say, oh, this is costing a lot more than I thought it cost. So you're going to have to add that to your list because you're spending money on things you don't know. But the good news, after you relax from being frustrated, angry at yourself, the good news is now you really know where you stand and what your bills are, okay, what your expenses are. Most people know what the water bill, the car payment, the insurance payment, things like that are, because those are your routine monthly bills. They have no idea what they spend on lunch during the workday. They have no idea what they're spending at the gas station. They have no idea what they're spending at Amazon. I had a friend who was spending, always placing an order on Amazon and saying, well, it's only $18 or it's only $13. This was only $30. At the end of the month, guess what? It's $550. Didn't even realize it because they come in $10, $20, $30 increments. So what you have to do to get your budget on track is decide, is that little $20 dress from Temu worth having now? Do you really need it? Or do you want to have that extra $20 at the end of the week and do that each week and that becomes $80? So it's those little decisions you make. And I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. You make your decisions. You have to do what works for you. But we talked earlier how much harder it is to increase your income, but it's so much easier to cut out these little things or reduce them. You improve your budget. Would you rather find out you spent $400 on DoorDash this month or have that $400 saved to get your car fixed? Yes, you have to eat. Everybody has to eat. But it doesn't have to be DoorDash because you have these add-on fees and they charge more and then it's a tip. I have a friend that once compared to like losing weight. So you nickel and dime, cut a little bit of calories out, fix a little bit of your meals, replace a couple fatty meals with a couple salads. Now, obviously, I'm not taking his advice, but it's good advice. You make these little nickel and dime changes and it adds up and then you're losing pounds. Same with your budget and your household expenses. You're losing pounds, okay? And you end up with more money at the end of the month. One thing people complain about is non-routine expenses. So you've got electric bill every month. You've got a car payment every month. You've got whatever payment every month. But you have other stuff that comes up. And it's always a surprise. And it kicks you in the butt and it ruins your budget or at least gives you an excuse for your budget being ruined. But they shouldn't really be surprises. Like, oh, I was on track until Christmas happened. Well, guess what? Christmas is going to happen again next year. And I'll give you a secret. It's coming in December, okay? So you can plan for it. Or it was great until we had all the family over for Thanksgiving. Another secret. That happens in November every year. Now you've got to travel to grandma's house. You know it's coming. So make a plan. Birthdays, you got multiple kids, spouse, partner, whatever. You got birthdays, anniversary. You have to renew your tags for your car every year. Mine costs like $300 a year. I know that it's happening in June. So it happens once, not the regular budget, but I've got to prepare for it. There's back to school, happens in August or September. Heck, it's probably July now because everybody goes back to school earlier and earlier. But you get what I'm saying. You know you're going to need new tires or new brakes on your car. This stuff is going to happen. That's just part of life. So what you do is have to set aside a little bit of money so it doesn't destroy you when it comes up. Because you've known people that say, I couldn't pay my rent on time because I had to get my brakes fixed. $200 brake repair for a couple brakes shouldn't cause you to jeopardize your housing, okay? So you got to set some money aside each month. There's a couple ways to do that. These are easy ways to do it. One, you can have your bank account just transfer money into a savings account every month. You could set a date, the first of the month, the 15th, and say, just move $50 over there. Move $100 over there. And it's gone, you don't see it, and you can't spend it. And after a few months, you have a couple $100. So when Christmas starts coming, you're on your way to pay for it, or you could pay for most of your breaks out of that. The second way to do it is you can have it directly diverted from your paycheck. Everybody gets paid online nowadays or electronically. These EFTs for direct deposits, you can have it part of your check sent straight to a savings account. And you don't see it, you don't know it's there, you forget it until you need it, and then you say, oh wow, look at that. Kind of like your taxes come out. You don't get a say-so, but you know they're coming. They're going to come out of your check, and you just survive with what's left over. Hey, it's Colonel Cash here again. Today I want to take a moment and thank you, all of you that are listening and watching and leaving comments and likes on these videos. I hope it's helping you out, and at least you get a plan so you can get started, so you can eventually feel like you've got control of your finances and you can do things that you want to do, not just let your money do what it wants to do. So keep doing that. Keep sharing these videos with family and friends. Whenever you leave a comment or ask a question, you're helping me to help you. So let me know, because I really am here to help you. Unless everybody you know is rich and doesn't have a financial worry, you probably know somebody who could use a little bit of help. So for me, what's rewarding is knowing that you're listening, paying attention, and you were able to make some progress. So go out to the Patreon website. You can subscribe to that. It's only $5 a month. $5 a month to get real financial advice from somebody with experience. $5 a month to get some questions answered. $5 a month for someone to give you a real game plan and give you tools so that you can do what you need to do to get where you need to be. That's the whole goal here. And you're going to get extra content. You might get early releases of videos. There'll be extra tips and tricks that not everybody gets. That's not expensive. That's a minor investment. And hopefully, if you're seeing the value of this, we're getting you on a path that you're saving money and making progress. $5 is nothing to you. Just a small amount. It's all going to be in the information below. So just scroll down and look at that, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. Thanks again. So one thing to help you get on track and keep you on track is to set up auto drafts for your payments for your important bills. Okay, you've got stuff to do, or you're afraid to commit the money because you're afraid of other bills that are coming. But if you pay your bills on time, avoid cancellations, avoid late fees, avoid these disconnects and stuff, you save your money, save yourself money and a lot of stress over the long term. So set up a direct debit for your rent, for your car payment. And later on, we get into the module about credit scores and how you can improve your credit scores, which everybody seems to want to do. The absolute best thing you could do is have these auto draft payments so that it's always paid on time, which is the most critical part of your credit score, okay? So it's going to save you the effort or the concern about, did I get this done? Did I make it? One of my kids was complaining that his apartment charged him a $150 late fee because he didn't make his payment till the 3rd, but he has a 3-day grace period, and he put it in their box at 4:50 in the afternoon, and they're not supposed to close on a Friday till 5, but somebody didn't get it, so on Monday they charged him a $150 late fee. And he's explaining that he made his payment 10 minutes before the deadline. And I said, no, you made your payment 3 days after the deadline, 10 minutes before the office closed. Forgive the lady for going home 10 minutes early on a Friday, but you're going to blame them. I said, it's your fault. You didn't pay your bills. Now you got a $150 bill. Why couldn't you pay it the day before? You can. Why don't you do an auto draft? Let it come right out of your account. You can never possibly be late. It sounds like you can't, but if you do that for the real essential stuff, you can get on track pretty quickly. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm trying to show you how you control and decide. Again, I call it taking command of your money. So you've got to decide what your priorities are. You can go and spend $40 out on a girls' night tonight, or $60 with, some drinks and some snacks, $60, or you can skip it, watch a movie, and save $60 that will go towards paying something else. It's choices. I would never, ever recommend you don't go out again for the next 3 months till you're caught up on all your bills. No, you've got to have a personal life. You have to socialize. But you make those those nickel and dime choices, those little things that you skip for $20 or $40 or $60 a few times a month, and you're in a better spot. But it's up to you. You've got to decide. It's a little bit of sacrifice. But again, the whole point is for you to deliberately take command and decide what you do with your money instead of letting it free like that toddler in Target who's just going to cause you issues and cost you more money, right? Hey, it's Colonel Cash here. So if you've got an idea for your business or service or something you think is compatible, fits well with what we're doing here, it'll be beneficial to the customer base that I've got, let me know. You can go down the description, find a link, send me an email, let me know what your idea is, what you've got, but it's got to provide some value to my subscribers. And so let me know. I'm open-minded, ready to hear ideas. But remember, I am a finance guy, so bullshit don't fly if that's all you've got to offer. Thank you. Look forward to chatting. You got an action plan. With each of my modules, you got an action plan, of course. So first is list out your budget like we talked about. Discuss it with your partner, spouse, cohabitant, whatever. Make sure it's realistic. Then decide, what do you want to cut out? Can you cut out anything? You may find out that you've got a lean and mean budget that is all that you can possibly do with no extras, and somebody's going to have to work more hours or get a second job. I hope you're not in that spot. Some people will be in that spot, but at least you'll know, and you'll say, I need this much more, so I have to do this much more. I'd much rather, it's my style, is have the information, make a plan, know what the reality is, versus just hoping that something's going to work and say, well, cross my fingers, clench my eyes, and say, please, please let it work out. No, I want to know what it is so I can address it head on. All right. I want to see that train or bus coming that's about to run me over. So the other thing is to start making a plan to set aside money for those non-routine expenses. We talked about that. If you can do $50 a month or a certain amount per paycheck or something, that helps. Remember, when you take command of your money, you take control of your life. I want you to be in control, so you've got to take command. You make your decisions, what works for you, so that you can do what makes you happy. That's what makes us all happy. Thank you. We'll talk again soon.